Hi everyone, I'm Jacy from Craft Life and I'm here today to teach you how to make a rainbow loom flower on your rainbow loom. If you would like to make it on your monster tail, I have a video for it and I'll put a link in the description box below if you would like to check it out. The supplies you'll need to make these are a rainbow loom, rubber bands. Today I'm making a patriotic flower like the one I am wearing. So I'm using red, white, and blue. You will also need a rainbow loom hook or crochet hook. If you would like to make your flower a ring like this one, you will need a C-clip. And if you would like to make them earrings, you will need earrings. So please get your supplies and we'll begin. To begin, you're going to want to leave your rainbow loom in the staggered formation. And we're going to be using these 8 pegs right here. Not these 8 pegs in the top, but these in the bottom. And you're going to turn your rainbow loom so that the arrows are all pointing to the right. And we're going to be using these 8 pegs. So you're going to start with your first color, which for me is red. And so we're going to go make an X on these 2 pegs. Make an X on these 2 pegs. And push them down. And I'm not twisting them on my fingers or doing any of that. We're just laying them normally and making an X. Now do your last one and push them all down. Now we are going to lay our next row, and this is going to become our top row. And for this, we are counting the X's as a row. So when you are making a flower, you will count the X's as a row. So I'm going to do 2 of each color. And this is my second row of red. Now make sure that you didn't push any of these down, and we're going to bring our bottom loops over the top. Each peg is going to have 2 rubber bands, and you're just going to bring them over the top. Now do this one. Now you're just going to push this all down. And now, since I'm doing 2 rows of each color, I'm going to switch to white. But you can do whatever pattern you would like. You can make it a colorful flower like this one. And I am just doing it in a patriotic color. So now we have a bottom row and a top row, and we're going to bring our bottom 2 rubber bands over the top on each of our 8 pegs. Now do this side. Now we're going to push this whole thing down. And again, since I'm doing 2 rows of each color, I'm going to do another row of white. Now we have a bottom row and a top row, and we're going to bring our bottom loops over the top on each of our 8 pegs. Now you're going to push this down. Make sure it's all pushed down. And again, I'm going to switch color, and I'm going to do 2 rows of blue. Now we have a bottom row and a top row, and again we are going to bring our bottom two loops over the top. on each of our 8 pegs. Now push this down. Now we are going to do our very last row, and I'm doing mine in blue again. You can use as many colors as you would like, and again, I'm just doing mine in patriotic colors because it is almost the 4th of July. Now you're going to do this side. Now you're going to push it down. Now we are going to hook, and since we went around in a counterclockwise rotation, we are going to hook it in a clockwise rotation. And to do this, we want to start on this peg, and we are going to fix this, because if we were to take this rubber band over the top, it's not the bottom loop, and it would just all fall apart. So we need to switch this top loop and take it to the bottom. So you're going to take it on your hook, then put it on your finger, and then put this one on your hook, put the one on your finger down, and then put the one on your hook down. So if that was confusing, all you had to do was take your top loop and switch it to the bottom, but you had to bring up your bottom loop before you could do that. Now, you just want to separate your bottom loops from the top loops as you go, and we're going to start on this peg and go around. So we're going to grab our bottom loop, bring it to the peg next to it, and you can tell that was your bottom loop because it hooked the loop behind it. And if you grab the wrong loop, it would not hook the loop behind it. Now we're going to do this one. And see, it hooked the loops behind it. So you just want to keep checking. Grab your bottom loop. Check to make sure it hooked the loops behind it. And keep going. Some of these that are stuck together, you just have to separate with your finger and find your bottom loop. Now we're going to hook backwards, and for this, we want to determine which one is our bottom loop, and I can obviously see that this one is. So I'm going to take my top 2 loops, push them away so that only the bottom loop remains. I'm going to grab the bottom loop and place it on the peg behind it. And I'm going to do that for all of them. So now only the bottom one remains. You're going to pick that up, bring it to the peg behind it, pull it, that's my bottom loop, and place it back on the peg behind it. And as you can see, it hooked the loops behind it. So that means that I grabbed the bottom loops for all of my pegs. Now you're going to stick your hook in so that the tip is facing the peg, not you. You're going to grab a rubber band, and you're just going to stick it through the side like this. And then place it on your hook. Pull this up, place it back on, and then you're going to pull one loop through the other. Now we can just help our loops off. So now you may think, oh no, it's broken, but all you have to do is stretch it out at the top, like this. And we want our red to be on the outside, so to do that, we are going to pull it in like this. And then this is the side that you are going to get to see, so just fix it how you would like it to be. And now we're going to take this loop, this extra slip knot that we have, and go that straight across from it, and you're going to pull a loop up from one of these. It doesn't matter which one, just make sure it's across from it. And we're going to tie these two together. So to do that, I'm going to knot mine twice because I don't want it to fall apart. So that was my first one. And then that was my second one. And if you push this up again, it is closed in the center, which you want it to be like that. And with these loops that you have now, you just want to tuck them in. So this one can go this way in some loops. Just stick your hook through some random loops and just tuck them all in. And then this one can come back this way. And it doesn't matter which loops, you're just randomly tucking it in, and you just want to pull this and do it some more. And they aren't going to get to see the back, so it doesn't really matter what this looks like. But you just want to get it tucked in, like that. Okay, so now on this side, the side that we are going to get to see, we're going to pull our petals. And to do that, we are going to take this outer row on the outside, and we're just going to pull one from each of these. So there's two, and you're just pulling one. And pull the last one. You can't pull them out that far because they tend to pull the ones next to it as you pull it out. But that looks pretty good to me. And I like how that looks. And now, I'm going to make mine an earring. So this is what we're going to do. I have one already made, and I'm going to make the other one. And so I'm going to take an earring, or a hook, and I'm going to just slip one of these onto it. Just like that. It was so simple and so easy. And now I have a pair of earrings, yay. And now when you are making it a ring, I did mine to my size, but I did a double single, which means I did a regular single chain, but I did 2 rubber bands each time. And I did mine for 9, and it's ready to be put on one of my flowers. So I'm just going to take my flower, and with these 2 loops in the back, you are just going to slip one on at a time. So put it on, and then you're going to wrap it around twice. Or once, so that you have 2 loops. And then do the same thing for this one. Twist it, put it back on. Now you can pull both of these into the center, like that, and you can put the C-clip back on the other side. And you're done. This is what they look like when they're on. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you make some, I'd love to see them. My Instagram is CraftLifeUSA, so please tag me in a photo. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, pin it on Pinterest, and subscribe right here on YouTube. I hope you're living a craft life just like me. Thanks for watching. Bye!